All right, welcome to this week's Help Desk with Joe session, and I have with me Joe, as always, talking about lots of good stuff. We're well over 20 shows, and everything you've talked about is geared towards helping people save money, helping protect themselves from cyber, I'll just say cyber stuff, whether it be people trying to hack into their stuff or viruses, whatever. What's this week's show going to be about?
Well, with school letting out, you've got a lot of these. Well, not only seniors in high school, but a lot of adults are prepping for college this fall.
Yeah, that's true. It's graduation last week, so now everybody's getting ready to go to college and they're gearing up. They've got some tough choices to make.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about those choices based on what computers do they need to take to school with them.
Right. And right now, a lot of people's thinking, well, we'll get vacation out of the way, then we'll think about school. When it comes to something like this, it's best to be prepared. With everything else. Just go ahead and throw it in line and be ready to go.
Put it on your list because it's important.
Right.
All right. Well, obviously, there's a couple of choices. We're going to rule out a couple of things. Talk a little bit about what the main choices are and what shouldn't be considered at all.
Okay. Well, the main choices are laptop or desktop.
Desktop, okay.
And that can be either Mac or PC. It's totally your choice at that point.
Right.
But as far as devices that we aren't including in this show are tablets. For the simple case, they haven't really found their purpose in education. Yeah, like with teachers, they can use that in the field, but a lot of your main work will still be done on a laptop at this point.
For a student, they're going to be typing papers and printing out papers, and they need a laptop or a PC, desktop PC to function as that. Social media will take second place to getting good grades.
Right.
We hope.
Yeah.
That's the plan anyway. So parents, rule out a tablet. Regardless of what your teen says or how much they promise it'll work for them, just don't do it. Get them a good laptop or a good PC desktop unit that they can have in the room. Let's start out with laptops. Tell me, what are some of the ways you would narrow down how you pick a good laptop for your child when they go to college?
Well, the first thing is you want to look at the size of it.
Okay.
They would love that 17-inch screen, but you got to think if they're going to take it to college with them, they're going to carry it with them all the time. So do you really want to carry a 17-inch device weighing 5 to 7 pounds, which you'd think is not a lot, but after carrying it all across campus, plus your books and all the other stuff you're going to carry, that'll add on in no time.
Oh, yeah. And then, again, size and weight correlate. So the bigger, the heavier, more burden. And also, you got to think, what kind of classroom setting they're going to be in. Are they going to have room to get out of 17-inch? So what choice is, in your mind, a good medium size to kind of focus on?
I'd say go with 15-inch because that's about the most common size. Okay. You can get a 14-inch, but the price gets real hairy with that because the 14-inch isn't as marketable as a 15, so
a little unusual, so it's going to cost more.
Right, it could possibly cost more.
So 15 inches, middle of the road.
Right.
Pretty decent size, not too heavy. Okay. When we talk about that, of course, battery life is important.
Right.
Talk a little bit about battery life.
Well, with the device, you don't want to go cheap.
Right.
Because you want it to last, hopefully, through their associates, and if they're going for a bachelor's, hopefully push them out to the 4 years.
Right.
Which would be
like one good purchase to last the duration.
And with the battery, the most standard batteries, you get about 2 to 3 hours. You can buy an expansion battery, so it's probably best to either buy a bigger battery to start out with or buy 2 batteries. That way, if they're in a long class, they can swap out.
Right, because I know some labs are 4 hours long.
Right.
And they may or may not. I'm assuming colleges will get on gear with this and have plug-ins, but in case they don't, having that extra long battery life will be very, very handy.
Right.
Okay, so battery life is important. Focus on that. All right, talk a little bit about durability.
Well, it goes back to you don't want to buy something cheap. Yeah, you can go to the store and buy a $200 laptop, and then the first time the kid drops it, and it's going to happen.
Oh, I'm laughing because I know when I was in college, by golly, my backpack got thrown around, dropped, stepped on, and I'm sure it was the same for you.
Right.
Nowadays, good thing we didn't have to worry about packing a laptop around. That's all I'm saying. So durability is very key because as a college-age student, I'm sure being tender and very caring of your laptop will not be a very high priority when your buddies or your friends are out there throwing frisbee and stuff and you get involved in shenanigans. So
and rule number 1, the laptop is not a frisbee.
There you go. Take care of. So durability, how do you start to look at that and gauge?
Well, a good thing to do is go on websites and do some research. Read the reviews, see what people are saying. Yeah, this is a good laptop because of this, that, and the other, or this laptop is very durable because we tried this, that, and the other. Now, you can spend a lot of money and get those what they call Durabooks, where you can stand it up here and drop it. But you're just one, paying more money than you need to, and two, it's just more weight that the student's going to carry. And I have not seen anybody in a college setting carry a tough book.
Right. So probably not necessary for this application. Okay, tell me a little bit about field of study requirements. So if your child's going in a particular field, they may have requirements for what kind of computer they have to have.
Right. Well, if you're going in general education, unless there's some special software that the schools want to teach you on, just your normal everyday laptop will work just fine. But if you're going into something special like computer aided, drafting and design, you're going to require a different laptop with much higher end specs to run the software.
Gotcha. So graphic design, arts, anything along those lines, computer animation, are going to require a bigger hard drive and
be a lot more under.
Tell me the technical terms. What should they say?
A bigger processor, more RAM, and plenty of hard drive space.
So RAM, processor, hard drive. That's the terms you need to know. You need more of it for those students.
And you can usually check with that department, say, okay, what software are we going to run? And then you can spec your system out based on that.
Right.
program.
You could probably have them email you something. You can take it.
Right.
Bring it to Joe, and Joe, this is what I need.
Right.
Okay.
I've had several customers do that, and we can take care of them right there.
Yep. That's the best and easiest scenario. That way you don't have to guess. They don't have to guess. You know what you're working with. Okay. College requirements. I know some colleges in West Virginia require certain things. Let's talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, some colleges say, well, if you're going to come through our doors, you're not coming anything with less than this. And like you said, kind of like with the class, the actual college requires a system to come with at least these kind of specs, which is fine. You just bring it to us and we can take a look at it and say, okay, here's what you'll need, here's your choices, and go from there.
Okay, and then personal devices involved with colleges along the same lines?
Well, with that is some colleges require you to buy or rent a system from that school.
Right.
They won't allow you. They won't allow you to bring your own personal device. So it's best to find out ahead of time what the school will allow, so you're not buying a system for a student and then kind of find out, well, the school says, well, you can't have it, so now you're spending double the money.
Right.
On
They're going to have two.
Right.
So why would a college do that? And I know we talked about that earlier, but just go ahead and share that information. Why would they require that?
Well, just for one on their end, it's a lot easier as far as support goes because they know exactly what's going on in their network.
Right.
As far as security goes, they can monitor and keep track of what's coming in and out of their network.
Yep.
If you have your own laptop and you go home, download a virus, you bring it into their network, you're putting their whole network at vulnerability. Right. With this, they can at least say, okay, well, we know what's going to be on there and we can possibly control what's coming in.
And a lot of people might feel offended by that, but in my mind, that's a good way to go, because then the school will help troubleshoot and take care of that computer for you versus you showing up with a cheap computer that's not going to work well, it's going to hinder your students, going to hurt the college and trying to help them.
Right. Well,
so it's almost a good thing to let that college take on the responsibility of making sure that computer works good and is built for what its intention is.
Right. And what we run into with a lot of our customers is they'll buy one from us, which is great, and we're just a phone call away, but their student lives in Morgantown.
Right.
So it's hard for them to try to get back here or whatever. So if the school requires them one, they just stop by the IT department to call and say, hey, it's broke, fix it. And they're
taken
right
care
there.
of. Okay. If they do a desktop, are we looking at similar ideas, or?
Yeah, it's
I'm assuming the size, the weight, because small college room. How much stuff can you possibly cram into that room? And a big unit with a big screen and stuff is probably a little unnecessary.
Right? Can you cram 10 gallons of junk in a 5-gallon bucket?
I tried when I was in college. It didn't work out real well. So desktopers, same thing. Look at the sizes. Not so much battery durability or anything along those lines, but what can you actually fit in your room? And
right. The hardware specs. Plus with
today, I don't know if that's a viable choice. I mean, if you're going to college, you're going to want to carry it with you, go to the library and study. I mean, when we were in school, you had to go to the computer lab.
Right.
And so we didn't have to worry about it. But now kids do have to worry about that.
Right.
So.
And the desktop is fine. It works great. But the problem with it is if the electric goes out, you're stuck. At least with the laptop, you can at least save your paper or whatever you was working on and get a little more work done.
Yeah.
Although with the benefit with the desktop is if you get something or you get a new program that requires more under the hood, you just open your case and upgrade what you need. With the laptop, you have what you have.
Yeah. And I agree, and that makes it a tough choice. And then with what you said earlier, though, the laptop with all the benefits for college life is pretty heavy. Okay, so what are you going to tell people when they come and say, all right, Joe, I have a college student, they're getting ready to go, what do I need to know?
Well, first, price.
Okay, how much can they afford?
Right, your budget's the most important thing, because when it comes to either or, the price is almost the same. So,
And you know what they're going to say. I don't know. I'm sending my kid to college. I'm poor as dirt.
right.
You know, I got a kid going to college. Didn't I tell you? No, but you're right. They need to know how much they can spend because,
Right.
as you said, the size, the weight, the battery life, all that's going to cost.
Right. Plus the licensing for the programs. Yes, there are college students out there. Many of them know how to obtain. How should I put this? Obtain the software in a means that saves them money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's best to do it the proper way and
Right.
purchase the correct licensing and all that.
Yeah. Once you get to college, I think they keep a pretty good eye on that stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in trouble with it.
Right.
So go about it legally and come buy it from you. I'm sure it's on sale.
Oh yeah.
I watch your Facebook page and see all kinds of good sales. But okay, so they need to know the price, and they need to have an idea of where their kid's going, a little bit about what field they may study,
Right.
and any college requirements.
Right.
Okay, so sounds good. How do they get a hold of you?
You can give us a call at our offices at 304-927-3588 or visit our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com.
And as always, you can watch on Facebook. I'm friends with you on Facebook, and I see
Yep.
all the daily specials, and you got all kinds of good stuff. And I'm assuming you kind of go in trends. So,
Yeah.
you know, we talked about on the show the laptops, tablets, differences of all that. Now I assume you're gearing up for college life here over the summer
Yeah.
and traveling, so it makes
Right.
sense. But we'll talk about laptops. All right, so be friends with him on Facebook, A&M Digital Technologies, and Joe or Cena McDonald, and you'll see those daily specials. That'll help you out. And go back and watch the other shows. And you're also turning these into podcasts.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're taking all the shows, this show Help Desk, plus 5 Minutes Outside with Kel, 5 Minutes Outside with JD, the Thai Food episodes, plus all the Patch newscasts are on our podcast now. You can go on iTunes and search for Patch 21 or Roane County Patch 21. We'll pull all those up.
Yep.
If you type in Thai Food, all those shows come up, and you type in 5 Minutes Outside with JD or Kel, those episodes come up, and then Help Desk is coming up as well.
Okay, so on your way to shopping or going to, family trips, get caught up on all your help desk stuff. There's 20-some episodes now. You
Right.
can listen to them all in a row and learn all kinds of stuff that'll save you money, keep you safe, protect your stuff, and get your kid ready for college. So
Yeah,
all stuff you need to know.
All the video podcasts are making their way online now. Once we get all the videos online, we'll make just the audio versions as well
Right.
available.
Yep, sounds fantastic. All right, Joe, thanks for another great week.
You're welcome. Thank
you're
you.
out there helping people out. So remember, shop locally when you go to buy your tech stuff or when you need your tech stuff worked on. Call this gentleman right here, Joe McDonald, A&M Digital Technologies, and of course, Cena McDonald behind the scenes doing the producing. So shop local, keep your stuff local, support these folks that are doing local business, and supporting our programs. You guys sponsored basketball this winter, and even though you didn't call a foul on anybody, it was still fun and it was exciting. So, all right, we appreciate it. We'll be back next week with more help desk stuff and helping save you money and do good stuff with technology. So thanks, Joe.
Thank you.